Hello and welcome to Cockatude. Cockatoos with attitude. Jasmine, leave him alone. He doesn't want to preen you.
The Jazzy Jazzbird.
Yeah, Jasmine, you are a
So hello and
stalker.
welcome back. Finally outside in the fabulous aviary with Babalu is back and Lorelei. So you will see some birds you don't usually see.
Yeah, Mander could come out, but he wouldn't. I mean, he doesn't get bothered when he comes out in the aviary, but I will have to take him out for 10 minutes or something. Cos was out here for 45 minutes already today. She's just too volatile to bring her out. She'll look really calm for a few moments and then, no, she's not going to preen you. Give it up. Give it up. She wants to sit on my shoulder and not be a preen machine. Mhm. I know. I know. It's all I want is just to be preened. The jazz bird. Bob, I know why you're on that side because that's where I moved the paper towels, but sneaky one. Pond scum. Are you pond scum? Stay out of my pocket. Get the foot down.
So let me greet some of our chatters who already arrived. Lisa Banerjee is here, so welcome, Lisa. Then we have Tiki Tiki saying hi, everyone. Falcon Sue is greeting chatters, mods, Don, and the usual suspects. I think the usual suspects have feathers. And welcome, Natalie and James.
Hello, guys. And hello to you people who have to work those day jobs in those slave arenas they call a job. What are you doing up there? Cecil's feeling his oats today. He is feeling better. He seems like the injections and the other medicine are helping, but it'll be a few months before the x-rays will tell us about his liver, though. So doesn't seem like his chest is quite as much of a problem. It was bulging out and it's come back a little bit. So but he's lost a little weight too on the new diet. I know how that feels. I'm on one of those too. But he gets all irate with me at night when I take his bowl out because he can't have any food until he's had his morning medicine for an hour. Snowball, what are you doing hiding back there? No bird. Snowball. Snowball? He's daydreaming. Snowball. There you are. Hi, Snowball. Cecil's on one of his Cecil Hyde trips right now. Yeah, what do parrots have to do with pond scum? Or should I say, what is pond scum? Hey! Hey! You stop that. What does pond scum have to do with parrots? Doesn't sound like there'd be any connection, but there actually is. Why does a bird that small live that long? That's the other question. Hey, you be nice to her. She's
Oh,
bigger than
Cecil.
you.
Bashing the sugar bird. I'm not sure if that's a great idea.
No, and she will not put up with it for long if he keeps it up. So you'd be nice to Sugar. He hasn't felt this good in a while. So he's yesterday he was feeling pretty good, but now he's running around again like he used to. So if you break it apart, the ball won't rattle anymore. I messed with you, didn't I? Did I pull your tail? No, I didn't pull it. I just touched it. I just touched it. I didn't pull it.
Mm. But Cecil really looks better. The whole shape of the body looks more normal than it was back then when he had the breathing problems.
Yeah, and it's what is it out here? It's right at the borderline right now. I have a fan, but we got good wind today.
Oh,
So
the fan. Oh my. I
yeah,
cannot wait till the fan goes on. Yesterday, that was hilarious. We had the Babalu posing and dancing show in front of the fan, and Cecil started bathing.
yeah, he took a bath. That's what he does when I turn on the fan. So if I want them to have any water, I have to try to keep the fan off as long as I can. You can come up, Bob, if you want to come up. Oh, you
Oh,
have
he
to
needs to.
go.
He needs to go.
Yeah.
Good boy. One bird who is not pooping on Don on purpose,
Now,
and also not by accident.
Cecil has learned that I am the target. It all started when
Yeah.
I separated him from Lorelei, but
Oh, look how sugar. She's not serious. Don't bash me one more time, and you will see the
yeah,
fantastic rage of sugar.
when she gets upset, she'll go after him too. She won't stop. That's the thing.
Uh-huh.
She kind of goes like it becomes a Pippa or a cause when they're on the warpath. You know? You got that look about you, don't you, girl? That's the look. You don't want to mess with her when she's looking like that. That's my head you're hitting, you big toad.
So we have two further chatters. We have Buktia Shah here, who says, "Beautiful family, love you so much. Thank you for that. Sugar loves you too. I'm convinced." And then welcome, Rosebud Atkins. Good to have you here.
Hi, Rosebud. Yeah, I'll read the quote. I can't. The last word I can't read, but I think you can figure it out. And the movie quote is, "And it is a moron who gives advice to a horse's."
Rear end.
Mhm. And when that line goes off, there's about a 2-second pause, and another actor completely loses it laughing. And they left it in. That laugh, I don't think was meant to be there, but it was such a good laugh. They kept it. So, and time to think about that movie quote. These are all fired up today. We all know that parrots live a long time, but it was only recently they figured out why. And we'll get into that after he stops beating me up so I can use what little brain I have left. Well, this is something, I don't know if you know about basic research. This is usually where you get our politicians saying, "Oh, we waste money on studying this about fruit flies," or "We waste money studying um, some obscure little bug or whatever." Well, this research, why we know why these guys live so. Hey, you be nice to him, or he's going to get you with that. He- Bob pulled his tail. Um, this was basic research on a particular one-celled creature that we would just call pond scum, and in fact, that's what the team used to jokingly call it. They call it pond scum, but a lot of what we know today came from this kind of basic research. So when they start saying something like, "Why are we researching this?" Just the thing to say to your government representative is, "Shut up. You're too ignorant. You probably wouldn't even know what science was, and it came up and bit you on the hind end." So and the ultimate end of this research is that eh, they may, well, eventually they'd be able to make it so we don't actually show any physical signs of growing old. Right. So in the long run, studying pond scum will probably end up making it so that we no longer have wrinkles, we don't get gray hair, our bodies don't start deteriorating, things stop functioning. That'll all come. It may be a long time if we're still here. The way the world is, you never know. But if we're still here in 100 years, they probably will solve that problem. And I'll bet you everybody who says, "Oh, we don't want to do any genetic manipulation on humans," they'll stop that when they realize, wait a minute. Well, they'll stop that when they realize these ultra rich folks, right, Bob? These ultra rich folks aren't getting any older. Why does that guy still look like he's 30 years old? And then they'll realize that we've been, and somebody will start, it'll get out. And the next thing you know, everybody will want it. But they'll have to engineer it probably before have to be done in your utero. So it's funny though, if somebody were to say you'd never age and never get old, you think most people would say, "Oh, I really don't like that research." But again, basic research is important. That's where we get most. Stop it! Stop it! You're going to get my arm. Stop it! See, so calm down now. No, don't press it against my arm because I know what you do. You'll reposition your beak and my arm will be in there. No, we're not doing that. Boy, you are full of it today, aren't you? That's the old Cecil Hyde. Yeah, it's the old Cecil Hyde. Oh, Bob's coming up with one now. Ow, Cecil, whack me on the ear. You big silly bird. Come on now. Come on. Calm down. You dropped it, Bob. So anyway, this team was studying pond scum, a particular, let me see, I've got the name because I'm never going to remember to say this, so I'll have to look it up. Stop. Hey, you big toad. So, if you've got a cat or a dog, the cat might live 20 years. They usually live less than that. Cat and dogs don't live terribly long. And the bigger the animal, elephant lives a long time, right? But the smaller the animal, would you stop? Generally, the smaller the animal, the shorter the lifespan. Well, why is it that parrots have such a long lifespan? You are calm down. You are just gone nuts. Stop it. Come on. You can beat me up if you want. Just don't hit my ear. That's all I ask. I'll ask. I'm almost up now, you dipstick. Oh, you silly bird. Not the arm. Don't press it. You're gonna bite me when you do that by accident. Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo. You you know what? I have my own weapon. That let's duel. Let's duel. Come on. Let's duel. So he's not gonna let me talk. No. Are you? Are you? You are something else. You are something else.
So we have further chatters. We have Jocelyn Driggle, who is now for 19 months member. So thank you for that, Jocelyn, and good to have you here. And then Calvin Thurston joined us. Happy to see the birds outside. And Eleanor is here. Welcome, Eleanor. Good to see you. She says, sorry I'm late. I
Hello.
guess I know the cause.
Yeah, you're just getting on my arm, so I can't pick that up and use it to fight against you, aren't you? Yep.
We have a question by Natalie and James. Why is it that older cockatoos are harder to teach words to?
I don't know that they are, to be honest. But it's like as a bird gets older, they do develop habit patterns. So just like with us, if you have a habit pattern of not reading, well, the odds that you're going to pick up a book and start reading in 10 years after you basically stopped are highly unlikely. And that's just due to habit patterns. So it's probably habit patterns if we see that. I know that you can teach older birds to speak, but they haven't been doing it. So you're trying to do something that they're just not used to. Who pooped on me? Cecil? Darn it. Obviously it was Cecil. I wouldn't mind if he didn't do it intentionally, but he's the only one that does it intentionally. I know I wash these pants for some reason. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I do. Hey, Lorelai, you little monster. So, they develop habit patterns like we do. That's why sometimes when you rescue a bird from the rescue people, wherever you're getting your rescued adopted bird, they can tell you some of the behaviors of that bird, but of course, there are behaviors they haven't seen too. So, whatever the habit patterns were before are going to emerge. I think in the community that is called unpacking their baggage. But habit patterns can be changed. So if you keep trying, you might get them to talk. The other side is maybe they just don't want to. Cecil's an example. He can talk, but getting him to do it is pretty rare. He does it when he feels like it. But so the reason, which probably you haven't heard, but the reason they live so long is a thing called a telomere. Now, if you imagine a shoelace, right? You're looking at a shoelace that has this little cap on it. Well, telomere is what caps off your DNA. And what it does is it goes up and down the DNA to make sure all the sequences are right and it fixes problems with your DNA because they do develop problems over time. So, what this team was doing, let's see if I can see where the name is. Yeah, 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 yeah. Elizabeth
Don,
Blackburn. Go
Eleanor would
ahead.
like to know if Corsi has said anything lately.
No, no, she hasn't. She hasn't started talking. Squawking, yes. Talking, no, not yet. Um, Elizabeth Blackburn and her protege Carol Greider. They were looking into pond scum, and what they found is what happens with telomeres over time, like in your body, these little repair agents that go up and down your DNA. Well, they just keep getting shorter and shorter. And as they get shorter, you start developing wrinkles, and then you start getting age spots, and then you start getting, the gray hair, and these telomeres just keep getting shorter, and your body, starts to malfunction because hey, stop it! No, no, Lorelai, no, get out of there. Go on, get out of there. Get up there, Bob. You weren't starting it. Lorelai's in a bit of a mood. Um, there she is. There, Lorelai. You've got to leave him alone. No, you two are not going to fight. Bob? Lorelai, calm her down. Bob, no. Don't be a pest. I'll put you in the pest cage. You don't be a pest. You don't be a pest. Bob, no. Leave her alone. Bob? Lorelai? No. Now there. You know. Go away. Go away. You're being a pest. No. Get a muffler. No. You're not coming up here. No. No. Bob? Hey, come on. Get. No. I said no. Go on. Get. No. No. Lorelai. No. No. Get out of here. No. I said no. You, you get one of these moods and you won't listen to me. Stop it. Nice to be able to throw her. She just flies where you throw her. No. You quit your attitude, miss. Missy. Okay. You don't go over there and start it up again. You stay over here. No, out of my pocket, too. No, you're not going over there. Bob? No, no. Talking to you. I'm talking to you. She's not bothering you. You don't want to know. You're not going on this side. Don't be stupid. Doing that, bothering her right now would be a big mistake. So don't do it. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Ah. So these telomeres get shorter as we get older, and when you're watching the movie and you see some old woman or that on the screen or some old guy, that's going to be you in a few years. And time goes by pretty fast. You're going to look in the mirror and see an old person looking back. You better not. You better not. Baba Lou. Misdirection. See, I'm not doing anything, and then he takes off and heads in a direction you don't want him to. You got to keep an eye on this one, don't we, Bob? Don't we, boy? No, not that side. See, he was over here trying to steal a paper out of my pocket, right? But now that he was in a little bit of a tete-a-tete with Lorelai, He's trying to get on the other side of me so he can start it up again. We're not doing that. Nope. Yeah, a little misdirection. Yeah, I know all about it. So anyway, what this research team found is that this particular type, I think they got the name of it. It's called tetrahymena is the particular protozoan they were studying. Uh, its telomeres never get shorter. In fact, sometimes they get longer. And when they were doing their testing to prove out the theory that the telomere produces a thing called telomerase, and so what they did is they got they got rid of the telomerase in the cell. They removed it, and within a short time, the cells died. So they were able to prove this is what was rebuilding the DNA. So then, um, fast forwarding here, there were some investigators who started saying, uh, these parrots, they live long lives too, and they shouldn't because they're smaller animals generally. Their telomeres get smaller, you know, faster. So what's going on here? And so they did research on it and found out that indeed parrots keep their telomeres don't. Would you quit trying to go over there? Get over here. Have to concentrate on him and talking at the same time. Now you're trying to get into my pocket. Would you make up your mind who you're going to mess with? Would you make up your mind? No. Oh, now you want the paper in my pocket. Yeah, I see that. There's the misdirection again. See, I'm just preening. Or I head off and do something else I'm not supposed to do. So when they researched parrots, they found out that indeed their telomeres do not degrade as fast. They don't get shorter as fast. Some parrots, and I could not find the name, but there are some parrots that they don't degrade at all. So they live so long because they have this special function in the DNA that doesn't degrade like ours does. So my father probably would have said, well, they'll figure that out just about the time I'm dead. So now, apparently we have the ability to do this, but it's just not turned on in our DNA. So they will be trying to figure out how to turn that feature on. And once they can do that, then goodbye gray hair. There won't be any more. But that's why they live so long. There are a few other things too. Let me see. Don't do it to me, Bob. Cut it out. He's just determined to screw with me today. They have a stronger antioxidant capacity. Um, and that helps. It helps keep the telomeres functioning. But under stress, that can weaken, and then their telomeres will shorten if they're stressed. So we, as caretakers, have to remember that. So if you're getting your birds stressed, or there's something in your environment, let's say you bring in a cat, or if you, what we've seen is if a cat is a kitten and it's raised in the house, it doesn't usually go after the birds. In fact, it'll run away from them. But dogs, I never trust. But with cats, so you bring in a cat and you figure, it's a kitten, it's going to be all right. And then the bird starts exhibiting signs of stress. Well, you could be shortening their lives because things happen when these birds are under stress. The other side of it is if they're under stress, and that's probably the majority of birds, if not all, have that ABV virus. When they get stressed, it tends to move down the the actual nerves, and that causes that autoimmune disease. So we try not to get these guys stressed if we can avoid it. Because in the wild, they don't have much to stress about. In Australia, the biggest stress is how many birds is it going to take to knock these rocks and bricks off this trash can so we can get into it. Yeah, all this is proven out scientifically now. We understand that the aging process we see is due to these telomeres. So, because we have ours don't rebuild properly, they start breaking down. Where the parrots, most of them they break down slowly. Some of them they don't break down at all. And with this particular pond scum, they don't break down ever. So they never get old. That doesn't mean they don't eventually die. There's other things that'll kill you besides getting old. But I know there are some fish in the ocean that also have a similar issue. Which they're researching right now because they live so long. But if they come up with the answer soon, and people like Elon Musk will be the ones that get the advantage of it. The rest of us little folks, not so much. It's okay to be friendly, but not too friendly. I see. So you're gonna poop on me anyway, so I'll keep you from heading where I don't want you to head. Silly bird. I don't see anyone with any response to that movie quote. And it is a moron who gives advice to a horse's. I'll bet quite a few people have seen that movie, but I guess I could give some kind of a clue. Later on in the movie, that actor yells, "Cockroach." You too? Cecil. He's like, what? You're a good boy, but you gotta keep your cool out here. Hanky panky. Lorelei, you've gone from one extreme to the other. Hi, Cecil. I wonder, does anybody else know about telomeres and why they live so long, or is this totally new information to everybody?
Rosebud says she forgot all about it because she was watching the birds, which I completely understand. I also sometimes forget to moderate because I'm watching sugar. Then, let's see. Eleanor is asking, is it a Western or is the horse just incidental? I don't know if you want to answer that question already. Give a hint if
Sure,
it's a Western or not.
sure. Um, they were talking about a costume with two waiters in it. A costume with two waiters in it. You see how he does. You see how he does that?
Calvin was writing something, but I'm not sure if that is a suggested movie title. It's Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke. It sounds funny.
No, that's a good movie, but no,
That's a
good,
movie. Okay.
good movie, but that's not it.
Then Tiki
Let's
Tiki says, is it Victor slash Victoria?
You got it. You got it. You got the movie. That's it.
Oh, today we have big winner. Excellent, Tiki Tiki. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. I've always liked Robert Preston. So it's Julie Andrews and Robert Preston. And I cannot remember the name of the actor who plays the waiter in that scene, but he's hilarious. He does deadpan humor that I'm better than almost anyone I've ever seen. So. And Robert Preston just breaks out in a gut laugh after he does it. And he says it and he turns and he walks away, and then Robert Preston just blows it. I mean, it wasn't written into the scene, but it was a perfect delivery of the line, no question about it.
And as an overview over the chat, looks like most know about telomeres.
Cool. I'll bet you most of the community doesn't, but our smarter people here do. Yeah.
Yep,
Most
we,
of the
we have just an over intelligent viewership, over
more than
average intelligent.
I see. So feeling better today, huh, buddy? Hmm? You feel? Are you chasing Lorelei? Let's not chase Lorelei.
Cecil,
No,
do they know basics about genetic? That's excellent. Explains also why Sugar always, it looks like she is becoming younger.
it does. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the reasons vets will tell you they can't tell how old they are until after they pass away. Um,
Yeah, Eleanor just reminds me there was a question earlier about how do you determine the difference between preening and plucking?
well, plucking, they'll damage the feather or they'll yank the feather out. So when they're plucking, they usually pluck the feather out, or feather destructive behavior. They'll start chewing it. Like with Cecil, he will chew some of his feathers, but he's not at the point now where I want to give him medication. With Lorelei, some of the feathers on her chest are thin. She's on medication, but she will still sometimes pull some of those feathers out. Not only to mention that, Cecil also he has become a barber, so he will barber her sometimes. I have to watch him close so he doesn't pull her feathers out. That's another reason you don't want to put two of them too close. But I keep an eye on him, so you're not going to do that, Cecil. Guys can preen, and that's it. How you watch him, sometimes he'll get a little rough with the feathers. So. Yeah, if you can tell. Also, if you look in their area, they have areas on their body that are starting to miss feathers. Well, that's a pretty good indication right there. The
Mm.
feathers don't just fall out unless you have birds that molt, and then it's
That's the
usually
thing. That's what I wanted to include, since cockatoos don't molt usually.
no.
Some tell they do, but usually they don't. They lose now and then a feather. While budgies, for example, they do molt, and there it can be that you have a lot of feathers lying on the floor one day, but they never has any bald spot. Never. Even when they molt, they look like fully feathered, and it also is just for a short period of time.
Yeah, it's like mammals. You lose your skin. It works kind of the same way. The feathers get old and they need to be replaced. So with true parrots, they're usually on a schedule. They'll start to dump their feathers during certain periods, some of their feathers anyway. And then with cockatoos, they just dump usually two at a time. It'll be the same feather on each wing, or the same feather on each side of their body. Tends to come off bilaterally. So, but bald spots mean it's been going on for a while. If you see them chewing a feather, or you see them grab a hold of a feather and yank it, well, that's feather destructive behavior. You need to deal with it as it gets progressive. If it's like someone taking drugs, the first couple of times, and it's like, oh, watch it now. You're trying to get that out of my pocket. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing, you little monster. Yeah. Oh, now he's going to start stuffing wood in my pants again. I don't, Bob, I don't know about you. I really don't. I think he just yeah, he did. Put a piece of wood
We
in
have
there.
20 more minutes to put the fan on.
It's almost warm enough to do that now.
Oh, we can do it at the end. It will be super funny, but I think the people want to see Babalu doing the dance.
Well, it's 85 degrees. I usually wait till it gets to be 86. It's actually cooler outside, but we have an awning over it, tends to heat up below the awning. So, hey, hey, hey. Yeah, he's chewing on her feathers now. Tail feather. He only does it to her so far, but Lorelai. Yeah, you gotta watch the barbering because he'll start chewing up her feathers. Ah, 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 ah. No, Lorelai.
Are both Moluccan ladies now trying to get involved?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh my. They're so needy.
Okay, guys, it's that time. I'm gonna turn the phone so I can get to the. I have to bear with me a second. I gotta turn that on. That's a big. It's a hurricane fan, and it's. I know it looks like it's moving slowly, but it actually is going pretty fast.
There's the fan.
Cecil's paying attention to it.
We have a new chat and a question. Hi, girl is here. So, hello and welcome. And the question is Don, do you have mice in the bird room? I live in an apartment. Maintains tried to cover holes 4 times already, but the mice are still attacking the bird cage. I covered the bottom part of the cage with aluminium foil and no success. Mice ignore all sorts of traps with different bait. I'm desperate.
Ah. Yeah, back in 2010, that's what caused our fire was mice chewing the wires in the wall. Um, I would call professional help in that situation. If you're living in an apartment, you can try talking to the apartment managers, although they're usually not terribly good about that kind of thing. You can complain to the health department. As far as the best things to thank you, Cecil, for getting my hand. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I know I told you to stop with Laura on it, but you don't have to poop on me. Um, nut, you're a nut. You're a good boy. You just have these little weird quirks about you. Um, if you see where they're coming in and out, you can put down. I know everybody hates these, but the sticky traps they'll tend to get them. It's better to have mice carry disease, and you don't want them getting in the cage. You never know what they'll do. So, um, and it's not a poison, so but you got to be careful. Your birds aren't out. You have to lay them down at night and then pick them up in the morning. So don't forget. Make yourself a sticky note or something so you don't forget to pick them up. Because if your bird gets stuck on it, it won't be fun. So I've had to use them around here for that reason. We don't have many. Obviously, you see that there isn't much for these guys to eat. So if there are any living creatures, they come to the houses to try to find food. Um, there are some traps and things you can get from what is it called? Do your own pest control online. They've got a complete stock of stuff that works, and people rate it there, so you can look at what's available. Some of these traps too. There are some metal traps. The plastic ones don't work so well, but metal ones where they can get in. So if you find out where they're coming in, we can put something inside the trap that'll like cheese or a little bit of peanut butter, and they'll go into the trap and then they can't get out. So those traps are humane if you're going to like drive a long distance and let them out. If you forget the trap is down there, they're just going to starve you to death. So you have to make that choice yourself.
Mhm.
But when it comes to that kind of thing around your birds, you have to do something. You can't just say, "I don't want to kill them." You, know, you can trap them. Some of the poisons aren't effective, which you can get from most stores aren't that great. You can go to a farm store and they'll have something that works usually, or that online resource. That's where I get pesticides and that kind of thing. That's where I get what kills ants. So
Mm. I
otherwise, the
wonder
ants
if
will.
these large living crafts would actually work. I have seen them working.
What kind of trap?
The large one, you where you catch them living and then basically take the trap and let them run a couple of miles away from your house.
They do work. Yeah, I've used them. They do work. But you have to put them along the walls where where they're coming in. If they got an opening,
Yeah,
you put it
she
right
says
there.
they come out to attack the bird cages, so it's not like they are hiding in the walls.
Well, the odds are they're living in the wall. If it's an apartment complex, they're living in the
They do
apartment
live in the,
complex.
but they come out to the bird cages, and then
Yeah.
when they come out, you usually they should be able to trap them living.
Well, it's not the first priority I have. It's nice to catch them, and take them away. But my first priority is the safety of the birds. So,
Mine too.
um,
But I'm also like,
yeah,
if it's
I'm
possible to do it without any harming.
yeah. I stopped worrying about that the time that I trapped some and I went to drop them off, and then when I went to turn around, an off-duty cop hit me doing about 60 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. So, and of course, the cops get off on that kind of thing. So, I haven't tried to save an animal since. Um,
Oh, poor
when
Laurel fly.
I had that problem with, oh yeah, did you piss off? You pissed her off, did you? You know, she goes, she wants me to free her, Dad.
Hmm.
Are you being chased? Bob, don't
I
start
think in that
anything.
case, wise is really the best that to get a professional to help you and make sure that whatever is used isn't dangerous to the birds, because that's
Yep.
always something one needs to consider. And Eleanor also had a tip or a suggestion. In the meantime, would super hot chili oil on the cage help? Wouldn't affect birds, but mice might not like it. Or
I don't know.
maybe powder, chili powder.
I haven't had, yeah, like 60,000, 100,000 heat unit cayenne. Um, they don't like it, but I don't think it'll keep them away. Your best bet's calling a professional exterminator. If you're living in an apartment, they're going to be in the walls. So what's going to happen is you're going to constantly have that problem,
Mhm.
um, unless you can get these management companies that are all about making money and they really don't care, get them to do something. You know. What are you
Oh
doing,
my,
Sid?
you in US America really have mice living in your walls. That's
Mm-hmm.
not cute, but it's kind of Tom and Jerry vibes.
What's bad is when you have squirrels try to move in.
Yeah,
I
maybe
had
here
squirrels
people
doing
have
that.
it in really old houses, but the new ones are usually built out of yeah, stone-like material. So no idea how the mouse wants to get into the wall.
Well, they like dark places where they can build their nests. I mean, they come
Yeah,
into the
but
house to
there's
steal
nothing
paper.
in you cannot get into the wall. Unlike you have some really heavy tools
They're good at digging holes,
in stone.
not in stone. No, no, I'm saying their
Yeah,
houses,
that's what
the way they're built
the
here.
wall's made of.
Here they don't build things using stone that
Yeah, I'm not
often.
talking
So,
about that. I'm talking about here.
Cecil? No, we're not doing that, Cecil. Lorelai, cut it out. Yeah, that's a tough one. Your best bet's an exterminator because it'll probably end up costing you less in the long run because it'll be a higher upfront charge. But when you have to buy, traps and all this other stuff and poison yourself, you end up having to spend a fortune, especially if you're living in an apartment. So, and then you have to tell the exterminator too that you have, a bird in the house, so they can't use poisons in the house, and then then that's going to mean there has to be somebody who's creative. You get somebody on the phone, they go, well, then we can't do anything. Well, you move on to the next one until you find someone who has the skill to handle that situation. So, what you doing up there, Jasmine? Lucy, what's up, Luce? The snowball's been sitting in that same spot. What's up, Snowball? I'm gonna go looking for him. That's just weird that he's sitting there. Whoops. Oh, Bob. I'm not trying to steal his stuff out of my pocket. Are you okay? You're just sleeping with your foot up? Smells like callous doing. It's a lot better. You okay? All right? You all right, Snowball? Mm, yeah,
Is
you're all right.
Eleanor hopes that Snowball isn't
All right.
melting.
Leave my pockets alone.
Snowball, are you a snowball in the desert?
It's a sleeping Snowball. He's all right. I swear he was holding his foot like weird, but he was. That's not even nice. He climbs up behind me, and I put the keys, which have a lanyard on them, in my back pocket, and he's trying to pull that out of my back pocket. You are not, yeah, not behaving well for a little bird. Sneak. Someone's got his foot up again.
That's Bob. Good to have a Triton out.
Yeah. Oh, he's being great today. Lorelei was ticking him off earlier, but Bob, be nice to Lorelei. No, you wouldn't win that fight anyway, so stop it. You would not win that fight. You're a big chicken. You are a big chicken. Danger rears his head. His tail. They're gonna have to bite his tail because he'll be running the other way. He puts on a big show of being a tough guy, but he's not a tough guy. No. He's a sweetheart. I support him. Mhm. Well, I didn't overreact to the fan today. Snowball, Snowball, what are you doing? I just don't like the way he's holding his foot. But he might just be resting. It's hard to say. Nothing wrong with his foot that I can see. Maybe giving him a more thorough examination before he gets out of here. Right, Bob? Hey, Bob. You see why I don't have too many portraits of him because when I go to take a picture, he's moving.
Mm-hmm. But he's not doing his cute fan dance like yesterday.
Nope.
What a
Snowball's
pity.
not taking a bath. Oh, you two can't sneak up behind me and start that. Come here. Come here. No, I'm doing that. Come on.
Lorelei and
What do you?
Cecil.
Yeah, yeah. They're trying to sneak up behind me where I can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a pair of teenagers trying to sneak around on their parents. Huh?
I think from the age, she might still be a teenager.
Yeah,
Probably,
well, she is, but you're an adult in the parrot world. What are you doing?
yeah. Yep, that's true. Sugar looks good. Her Dumbo ears are fanning.
We'll turn on the fan at the right time. It's starting to get a little warmer in here. Hi, baby. Some sides. Well, thank you guys for being here. And I'm going to hang out with the long-lived crowd here. Are you long-lived? Lived, live, whatever. I'll say it either way. What are you doing? Mhm. And we will see you on Wednesday, I hope. If you haven't seen that movie, Victor Victoria, you'd probably enjoy it. Just for Robert Preston alone. Or that one scene with the waiter. That's just great. Thank you, Amy, for moderating, and Eleanor for showing up, even though you have a small Tasmanian devil in your chair.
Yeah, thank you for showing us the birds. I think everybody's happy to see Cecil back in his bashing and playing mode, and also having Babalu with us again. Yeah, and seeing the birds outside. That was great. So thanks for that, and hope to see you everybody on Wednesday.
Hey, guys. Say bye, Jasmine.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.